things are of God. Say it, say it, say it, say it. All things are of God. All things are of God.
All things are of God.
So that shows us that we are one humanity, and we have to stop thinking in terms of color and separating by color and realize that we are one and take on that oneness of God for all people. So there are laws of God that we have to recognize, universal laws, and that first law is the law of love. And one of the ways in which there are several, and I will list a few, one is sagacity. That has been our favorite word that we've been talking about, and that is looking deeper beneath the surface. Looking deeper and seeing the humanity of all people. Another word is nobility. You have to see the nobility of all people because God created all people. And the other one is empathy, the caring about other people, about their stories. We have all been under a strong delusion, lies about where we came from, who we are. There's something that the ancient Egyptians used to write on all of the temples, which is know thyself. So today I want you to come with me on this journey of learning about ourselves and knowing ourselves. So this is all done in crayon. And this was one of the first paintings that I did, where God had really showed me that through my art, I could bring this awareness of the oneness of God. This is a nebula in space of stars that I saw, and it looked like this vase of flowers, so that's how I painted it. So we are like these flowers. Because I remember asking God, like, why didn't you just make us all the same? Why are we different colors? And God's answer was the flowers. Look at all the flowers, the variety of flowers. And so painting all these flowers in one vase, that's like all of us on this one earth. Not only that, I love the nebula of space. That's where stars are born. And we are stardust. We are the dust of the earth, but in every star and in all of the earth are the same chemical makeup that is in the dust of the earth and in the stardust that makes up those cloud of gases that produce these beautiful colors in space. And I also painted the black butterfly. And that has meaning to me because the black butterfly, to me, represents the diaspora. And I'll explain that later. The diaspora from Africa, of people being forced from their homeland. And so I'll explain that as I go along. So I put that in a lot of my paintings. This is about the love of our children. This is about taking care of our children and really praying for them that our children will know their worth and value and know that they are valued and not be judged by the color of their skin or attacked because of the color of their skin or any other reason that would cause people to put them down. We have to pray for all of our children so that we can all learn how to get along with one another, because it is so important that our children learn who we are and that they have that deep understanding that we are all one. And until our children learn that, until we begin to teach that, we're going to continue to have the problems in society. So we have to be the teachers. We have to make sure the schools are teaching that. And if the teachers aren't teaching that, then we have to teach it at home. We as people of faith have to let our children know. And we first have to take it in and really, really connect with that understanding of who we are.
This painting is called Black Butterfly Diaspora.
People who have been most affected by oppression is the people that were enslaved from Africa. And we know that we've gone through a lot of hurt and pain. But to me, the black butterfly flying over the waters is going to tell the truth about us and show our nobility and show that all of the things that people say, like, oh, black people are lazy, they've never done anything to contribute to society, they're dumb, or all these kind of negative things. And I was talking to another Baha'i who said, it's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. And so this painting is showing a place in America, this actual place. I don't know exactly where, but we know that there are beautiful places in America, and all of us should be able to enjoy its freedoms and the beauty of it. God is showing His love, and it's just shining upon her face. And I often think of the scripture that says for us to beam our faces toward God in joy. And it's like the light is shining on her face. And it kind of is a reminder to take care of ourselves, and that women, we women have that feminine nurturing energy. So that feminine energy is very important, and that we are nurtured, that we are supported by our men who love us and care for us, and that we care for ourselves.
This painting is called Rising Freedom. To me, it represents that we can come out of the fire, we can come out of danger and hurt, and we can heal.
And that's what this is about, that God is love. And as you see, the blue is kind of the softness that says that everything is all right. We also see that pyramid shape just showed up. And I said, wow, that was interesting. So I kept it in there because God just allows things to show up in my pictures. And so I just go with the flow of it. And so this bird represents our longing for the truth of God and our love for God and God's love for us. One day when trying to figure out one of my children's homeworks, I had questions about, well, where did math actually come from anyway? And so I was looking online, and I saw someone had written that the things in outer space and in the universe are mathematical and connect with the earth. So finding this, I knew that that was the template to use because it had been on my heart for a long time to make a painting that had the drapery.
We're all 99.9% the same.
Wonderful thing about this painting, the flowers, when I had asked God, well, what kind of flowers should I paint? And I was thinking about Rose of Sharon, the lilies of the valley, I didn't know. And I just asked God. And about a week after I just remember feeling the strong urging to go into my yard, and I was just going to walk around. And I see this plant, this beautiful flower just growing there. It was just one flower, because we had not planted anything. It was just there. And it almost looked like it was just a plastic, somebody just stuck in the ground. But it was real. And so my daughter took a picture of it. And also, in seeing that, the template for the hydrogen atom, I learned that everything that we see, everything that we touch, everything in life, the basis of everything is hydrogen. So it's so fitting that God would want me to use that as my template. So as you can see, this is like the earth, the circle here, and it's got Africa here. And so this is God's message to humanity, to humankind. It says, "Dear humankind, I truly do love you, your creator, God." So I painted these colors with the stars around it, and then Africa. And Africa, I was going to, I thought about labeling the countries within the continent, but I talked to someone and they said, oh no, it was divided up by the colonizers. And so I couldn't in good conscience put labels on there because these labels were forced on people in Africa. And I found out that it's causing most of the conflicts there because they weren't caring about the borders or whether it was different tribes. They just divided up in the way that they wanted, and sadly is causing a lot of problems there. I also wanted to show the Nile River and how far it goes. And it goes all the way to Lake Victoria Falls.
And I also painted Lake Tanganyika and Lake Nyasa.
And I also painted Madagascar, which is part of Africa as well. It's a painting I actually did in one day. And it's the first time that ever happened where I was able to paint a whole painting like that in one day. And I stayed up all night and just kept praying and praying. I asked my husband and my daughter to pray with me because his memorial was coming up the next morning. And I was able to get to that, I was able to show. And this is Phil Freelon. He is a man who just passed. He was an architect who designed many, many buildings. So it's showing me, and it's to show the accomplishments that we have made, because I even heard, well, I had seen this online, and I think I've heard it before, people saying, oh, black people never built any buildings, they never did anything that was of significance. And he designed several buildings, and this one is wonderfully made and has so much meaning. He never designed anything like prisons or casinos or anything that, he always wanted to uplift humanity. He always wanted to build things or design things that would be something that people could enjoy, something that would leave a legacy of hope and love, like libraries and things like that. And this building here is the African American Museum.
This building is called the Smithsonian Institute's National Museum of African American History and Culture.
So I painted this young lady from Africa. And the water bowl just showed up. Even the hands just showed up on the picture as they painted her. And the drapery of her cloth, the beautiful fabrics of Africa. She's got on beads and everything. It just kind of produced itself. I just trace it out, according as God shows me. And she's just the fact of clean water and the fact that water is one of the most universal elements because it's in all of us. We're about 70% water. So, and the clouds, and if we pollute the water, it's going to go into everybody's stream. Eventually it will reach all of us. And so we have to really think about that clean water. This one shows to me the vulnerability of our earth and the beauty of it as well. So we have to care for all the creatures of the earth. And I was painting just a landscape, but the deer showed up. and again, I just traced it out, and it just shows the mother deer and the little fawn. So math is intrinsic in everything. And so this earth is an illusion, but it was created by God, by this great intelligence. And just the rays of the sun, how they come out, the beauty of the earth, the seasons. We want to continue that. So we have to take care of our earth and realize that it's important to have justice, even with the ecology, with our not just economic justice, but ecological justice. And so this really represents that to me. This, to me, is my most important work. This is the mother of all of us. And as you can see, if you look at the picture of Africa, this painting, it was shown to me by God. Just like, when I looked at the picture of Africa, I just remember looking at a map and I was like, wow, I see a face.
So this looks like eyelashes around the eye, and I painted the pupil of her eye.
They call this the Horn of Africa, but this is the crown of Africa, as you can see. The kente cloth is cloth that was originally made in Africa for royalty. And it was just so fitting. God showed me how that created her scarf, you see. And then the hair, oh my God. Her hair is exactly that texture of African hair. So it's the beauty of our people, the beauty of where we came from. And see, and scientists have found that all people came from Africa. We were originally, that is where humanity was born, in Africa. And we migrated from there. In this picture, I show the stars as islands around, or the islands around Africa as stars, and then black butterfly.
One of my maternal ancestors was taken from a port in Madagascar.
And they used to ship them over there and then ship them to different places to be slaves, to be enslaved. And so I have such a connection with Madagascar in that way. Also, her tears are the actual rivers, as you can see. Yeah. And her ear is here where this little section is. So it's like God just showed me all of these elements, and it's the actual geography of the land. She also, I made where she's speaking to the black butterfly. There's one other thing that I wanted to show you, and this was a confirmation from God that I had been seeking but didn't know existed. When I painted the painting of Mama Africa, that was back in about 2014. And then probably like a year ago, or a year and a half ago or so, I saw the title of like a video, just kind of scrolling through and saw, and it said, is this the end time message? It says black men's face in space. So I'm interested. I'm like, okay, let me see what they're talking about. And at the end of the video, they show this amazing photo. It was a NASA space photo. And I know it's hard to tell on here, but it's the face of Mama Africa.
So I studied both faces, and I measured from the eye to the nostril, from the nostril to the lips, and from the lips to the chin, and the ratio of distance in both measurements are the same.
You see that star up there? That's where the emerald is, and that's where ancient Egypt is. And it's in the exact same place. Where her hair kind of ends is where the band on her head is that says God is love. So I wanted people to see that Egypt is in Africa, because some people don't know that. And it actually is in Africa. I always get emotional and I cry, and then I feel like the tears of Mama Africa, that she's calling us to come to this knowledge. And she wants us to come together as one humankind and see who we truly are. Thank you.
All things are of God. Say it in the early morning. All things are of God. Let all creation sing. All things are of God. Our God made everything. All things are of God. Say it, say it, say it, say it. All things are of God. Say it, say it, say it, say it. All things are of God. Say it, say it, say it, say it. All things are of God. All things are of God.
All things are of God.
I love you, God. Thank you.